Hi. Today is about narcissistic abuse. I was in a marriage of 23 years relationship, and basically it was rocky from the beginning, but very, very romantic. At times, he would take me out to eat. He loved taking me to fancy restaurants. He loved taking me to the mall to buy beautiful clothes and things like that. And then, he would take me to the hotel or, first it would be dinner, then the mall, buy clothes, and then to the movies, and then to the hotel, and then a drink. Well, the drink first before the hotel. Let me get it right. And I used to drink alcohol, liquor, vodka, just vodka, which is really bad. But at the time, that's what I was drinking. I would drink maybe 2/4 pints a week or 3/4 pints. But actually, while I was with him, it went up to half pints a day, every other day at first. Well, we would share it, of course. Got to the point where actually he, first it went from you can have as much as you want, where I used to say, well, I only drink a little. And then it went to, well, that's another subject, but then it went to a fight, which actually contributed to a scar that's on my face right now, today. It's been there for years now because I was reaching for the cup that had the drink in it, and he grabbed it from me and he bashed me in the head with it. So of course I was passed out for days of in and out of consciousness because I had a concussion. And you say, well, why don't they put them out when they're abusive? Well, see, that's a question that women who have not been abused should be feeling very, very blessed, and don't ever say, that could never happen to me. I'm too smart for that. I'm too strong for that. See, that's a mistake right there. It's a mistake to think that you're too smart or too strong for something abusive to happen to you in a relationship. It's not like you can see it coming. You can't always see it coming. Some people seem to think that you can see everything coming. You cannot, I mean, some things you can, even if you're psychic, in which, if you can see a few things in the future, but you can't see everything. You can only see bits and pieces, so it still doesn't tell you exactly what's going to happen. So if somebody makes a frown at you, it doesn't mean they're going to hit you. And sometimes a guy or woman could be smiling at you. Also, before I was married, I was lesbian, but that's a different subject. But the thing is, the matter of the fact is, I was with females who were also abusive. 100% abusive, will jump on you so fast, physically jump on you because you don't agree with them about a subject. You don't even have to have a full-fledged argument. So we're not guy bashing. I'm not bashing on guys because that would be wrong. Because there are many wonderful guys, many, many, many wonderful guys who were brought up right with the right parenting skills that taught them the right way. And like I said, my husband, he was very abusive. He was also in the war. He was on the killing field. So for 3 years. So basically, that doesn't help anything. When they come home from being on the killing field, of course, I met him years and years after, decades after. And he is much older than me because he's just about going to be 70 years old in a minute. He's like 20 years older than me. And basically, so you can't even say, well, I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody who's older than me, and that way it'll be more productive. That's not always true. You can't count on that. That's not promised. Because if somebody's older than you, actually, if they're born in the 50s or the 40s, my husband was born in the 1950, exactly 1950. So basically, and he had sisters and brothers older than him, and which means that, sorry to say, but he was taught a few right things, but he was taught a lot of wrong things because we all know that's when, the age of, it was still part of the age of the dark ages where people didn't know much. They thought they knew a lot, but they didn't know that much, and they were still learning about all kinds of things, including life. A lot of people back then were forced to be married just because somebody's pregnant or just because they're looking at each other too much and they go to the same church. And as a matter of fact, still to this day, if you look at somebody too much and you're in the same church, they will kind of push you to get married because, they don't want any fornications going on. And basically, I think that it's really important to have morals and standards, but also to remember that, it's not good to be in a forced relationship. And basically, when I was in the relationship with my narcissistic ex, he was narcissistic and he had PTSD and he was schizophrenic. So my road was very, very long, and I am a person who has great endurance. Maybe the last relationship I had to go through a lot because of all the years that I endured pain without madness. And, and then after a long time, you might explode, and maybe the wrong person might be around. It could be the right person, and you might act like you're the wrong person because of all the years of holding back and being enduring and strong, so strong to endure so much. But the thing is this to know about when you're in a narcissistic, abusive relationship or in an abusive relationship with someone who has PTSD, whatever the reasons are that are making them that way, it's not, if you haven't been, just don't say, I'm too smart. And if you have been, don't blame yourself when people say to you, why are you still with him? Why are you still with her? First of all, they're not in your relationship. So you need to ignore those people. You really should ignore them, because if they really cared so much about why you're still with the person, then they would say to you, you know what, you can come with me. Why don't you come stay with me for a little while till you get on your feet, whatever. Or, don't listen to people who put you down and make jokes or, say, really, they're being abusive too. If they're supposed to be your friends or your family, they're being abusive too when they're saying to you that you must like it. You must like it. You're still with him, or he's still there, or you're still going to see her. So you like it. You like the turmoil that they put you through. Those people are also abusive, and you need to stay away from them or cut them off just for a little while. Just let them know, you let them know, you say, I'm not going to take it. And you're not going to, I'm having enough problems at home, and I'm not going to deal with it with you too. That's what you tell them. And when they say, well, I'm only saying this because I love you, then you say, you know what? That's the same thing the abuser says to me. He only or she only does it to me because they love me so much, and I won't listen. So you're saying the same thing to me that he's saying or she's saying to me. So you want to release those people too, because you don't want to be abused double. You don't want to be abused double time, and it's not easy to get away from somebody. It's not easy. It's not easy to just pick up all your stuff and go, and, you have to have the money to go. And basically, if you've been living in your apartment, your condo, or your house, and you've been paying bills, where are you going to get the money to go? That's what I want to talk about today on part 2. Peace, love, and light.